when you like the food, you like the people. When you like the food, you like the people. You can integrate together. Through the food, the people will know each other more.
This week on Dirty Linen, well, for the past 2 weeks really, we've been talking to wonderful women who've worked in and around hospitality, getting their stories, finding out what makes them tick and finding out if there's any barriers to their places in the industry and the world in general. And I'm really thrilled to bring into this conversation Fahan Ahmed. Fahan is from Somalia. She's living in Melbourne and she's part of a really cool program called Magnificent Mama's Kitchen. Fahan, welcome to Dirty Linen. So great to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Tell me about the Magnificent Mama's Kitchen program.
Yeah, Mama Kitchen started on October last year. And we are 14 women from mainly in East Africa. And when this program started, when the Moonee Valley City Council working with Moonee Valley City Council working with us, and we're doing the other programs with the Moonee Valley City Council. And when we see that the women need jobs, especially for us, it's hard because for the English, for the how to look for the job, and we started here in this Mama Kitchen.
And what do you actually do there?
We cook. We cook for the people who happen. The coronavirus happened. When the coronavirus happened, the people who cannot don't have jobs. The old people who cannot cook or cannot integrate with the other community, because this is what was happening. So we designed it for this, for so it could be easy for the community and for us. Part of this was really good, and also the mothers who doing this. This is for the field. This is where they feel comfort helping the community and also working.
Mm. So basically you're employed, and I think it's part of the Victorian government's Working for Victoria initiative to be part of this program, right? And I think one of the real crises in Melbourne's path through the pandemic was the lockdown of the housing estates in Flemington and Ascot Vale. I think it was in last July. I mean, was that so many people in those housing estates have a background in Africa, and one of the things that was so, I guess, really striking about the food distribution to those housing estates was I guess the challenges and the importance of providing culturally appropriate food, the kind of food that people are used to eating. Was that something that you saw in your community?
Yeah, because when we ask the community, the one thing they ask us is this appropriate for us to eat? So to provide this was something like they never expected before, and was really something good for the community.
Yeah, right. So tell me about some of the food that you make. Like what is your food?
We make something called sukar, which is a Somali dish, meat cubes. We make rice. We make chicken tagine. We make a variety of foods, African background, African and also Middle East.
Right. Because I know that you've got a chef there, Harris Ryan, who is part of the program as well, but I bet you're teaching him as much as he's able to teach you.
Yep.
Because what are some of the skills that you need to cook those dishes you're talking about?
Yeah, because it's different techniques, and also we put a lot of onion into our dishes. And a lot of spices, especially for Harris, it's hard for him. The hot spices he's getting used to now, but it was hard for him. So he learned from us and we learn from him a lot how to do the dishes, how for the measuring, because when we come we didn't know for the measuring the foods well, how to use the technology, the ovens and these things, and we didn't know, so he teach us all of this, and we teach him our food and our background, and it's part of us now.
It's so great. So do you hope to continue to work in food, Fahan, or is that your background? Did you work in food previously?
Yes. We have a East African cuisine, East African sisters in registered business, me and my partner. And we done this through the council helping us to do this. And we also make we make dishes, all dishes, especially Somalian dishes. And we have a chili sauce, which is called basbas. So we also the Moonee Valley City Council helped us to produce this from the scratch. Even we don't know where to start, so they help us, and now we are registered business. Well known from the community, and we're very good. We're hearing very good.
Oh, I need to get my hands on some of this chili sauce. I love putting chili sauce on everything. So yeah, you need to hook me up.
Yep, we will. Thank you.
Tell me about the chili sauce, like what goes in it, what's special about it?
The chili sauce, this is the mainly Somalian chili sauce, and also there's some Ethiopian on it, and it's tomatoes, it's chilies. It's not too much spices because we make less the spices, because we know the community or everyone don't like too much chili sauce, so we make it less. And it's also there's some dates for the sweetness. There's some vegetables there.
Okay. Yeah. And would you put it on the tagines and the meat dish that you spoke about?
Yeah. We put everything, everywhere.
Yeah, great.
Everything can eat, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to put it on everything too. So
thank you.
How many women are working in the program with you?
14 women.
Awesome. And them all from Africa?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's mainly Africa.
Okay. And are you all Islamic women?
Yeah, yes, mainly, yeah.
Okay. So how do you feel as an Islamic woman, an African immigrant here in Melbourne? Have you found life difficult? What have the challenges been? Do you feel like you've been welcomed?
Yeah, mainly we're welcome, but when you're looking for a job, it's hard when you're wearing the hijab, or you don't have that skills, or you don't know where to start. It's really hard. Like this program, it helped us to have this, opportunity, so we can say that we have this experience. They can look for us, our resumes, and we do this program. So like this program is something like the community needs, and we can look for jobs, other jobs, even if you work this field.
Absolutely. So if you look to the future and, what would be your biggest dream that you could do now that you've had this experience?
My biggest dream was this, we're doing this sauce to be well known all over Australia and also in the world.
Cool. All right. We're going to make this happen. So Fahan, can you tell me about your life before you came to Australia and, what made you come here?
Yeah, before I came to Australia, I was in Cairo with my aunt. So we came here while with me and brother as a refugee, and we was really young. So to adapt to the different culture and different was really hard in the beginning. But now we're getting used to. I get married here. I have 6 kids. The oldest one is now 20, and the youngest one is 8. So the life is going good. It's going good ahead. We're going good.
Yeah, right. That sounds really busy to have 6 kids.
Yeah, it's busy. It's manageable.
That's fantastic. And what about before you were in Cairo? Like, were you born in Somalia?
Yeah, I born in Somalia. We left there when the war happened in Somalia.
And how old were you when you left Somalia?
I was very young, around 10, 11.
Oh, okay. Right. And then how long were you in Cairo?
4 years. 4 years
okay.
in Cairo.
So you came here as a teenager, more or less?
Yeah.
I think so many people in Australia don't know much about the situation in Somalia and about the war there. Can you tell us a bit more about it and what life was like for you there as a child?
Yeah, the war was a civil war, and the people was fighting, and was really, I remember it was really hard, especially because to grow up now, a grow up person, I can understand how hard it is. You know, the people when you see the killings and for no particularly good reason for killing that person. But I think we as Somalians, we now getting over this, and it's getting better and better each year or each decades. So it was really hard, and the most of people they dead for nothing, killing each other because the government, or some people, they want to be the government, to go to the government and ruling, and different. We have the same culture, same religions, everything same, but just. For the people, they wanted the government. Everyone wanted to be the governor or near the governor. So that's why that was the main reason that they fighting.
It's just, I mean, it's so sad. I mean, war is always sad and tragic and senseless. There's always such senseless loss, but it's really hard for so many people in Australia to comprehend what you went through as a child. I'm really glad you were able to bring up your children in a more peaceful environment.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a lot. What about, do you remember the food that you ate when you were a child? I know that there was a lot of stuff going on, but was food still something that could bring you pleasure in your family when you were little?
Yeah. This is the food we eat in here. The same thing. So I cook the same food we eat in back home. So the food it's same, and we bring that food to the mom kitchen too, when we cook it here. So and my kids also like our foods, because they ask even my daughter the other day. She said, "Mom, you didn't cook that food, particular food. You didn't cook this food. I didn't hear from those days. You didn't cook this one. Please cook it." So the kids even like our food, and that's we feel home when we eat in the morning the injera, especially on Sundays and Saturdays. We feel home, and the kids too feel home.
I love injera. So it's a fermented bread made with teff flour. I've spoken to people here who say that you can't make injera in Australia like it tastes in Africa because the water is different.
Yeah, the water is different. Maybe not the water exactly. I'm not sure, but the taste is really different. Maybe the water, maybe this new thing I'm learning today.
Well, I don't know. Yeah. Like, that's just what someone told me one time. Maybe they weren't sure, but they thought, could it be the water? Could it be the flour? I mean, because there's not that many ingredients, right? So I mean, basically, it's the teff, flour, and water. Like, there's nothing else that goes in it, so it has to be one or the other. Unless it's something in the air, like the way, because it ferments, right? So I suppose there might be different cultures in the air that go into it, and I don't know, what could it be?
Yeah, maybe the other thing is the things that make it rise, the things inside it, because we used to buy from the shops, they made for us a special thing just to put it on and make rice. So it never be exactly the same, because everything, even the other everything is different. So it's similar, but it's not exactly the same.
Yeah, I guess, there's this expression, a taste of home. And I suppose, it never tastes exactly like home unless you're there and you've got everything the same. What's the culture around sharing food and around eating together in Somalia, or in your culture? Like, do people gather is the main meal in the evenings, or is it earlier in the day? And does everyone sit down and share? Like, what's the culture there?
Yeah, it's not in the evening. It's around 2 o'clock, something like that. And this is a sharing. We sit together. We put in the plate, a big plate, and then everyone go around, and then we sit together and we eat together, and everybody eats their side of the food. So we eat together, and this is the love and the joy for the food. you eat together, it's very good.
And tell me about cooking together. What sort of experience is it for you cooking together with the other women in the Magnificent Mamas project?
Yeah, because this is the first time we cook together. So this is a good experience for us to know each other. And also we know each other, but, work in same field. And it's a good experience.
Yeah. Do you learn from one another, or does everyone make everything the same, or is it all everyone's got their own special touches?
Yeah, we have everyone have a role. In the morning, we say we have a role, everyone doing it. And we have the menu. Some people, they measure it. Some people, they cut it, the onion. And we have a 1, 2, 3. So some people, they are cooking, and others are cooking for the lunch, for the staff.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's your specialty?
Everywhere. Each day different.
Okay. Love it. I remember this breakfast, this Ethiopian breakfast I had. I don't know if it's the same in Somalia, but it's called genfo. It's like a barley flour breakfast, and then you have it with a spiced berbera butter. Is that something that you eat as well in the mornings?
Not in the morning. Similar. We have a similar thing, the injera, and we put the injera in the meat cubes, which is dried, and also when you dry it, you fry it.
Ooh.
You dry in the air, then you fry it.
Like is it?
And it's called otka.
Is that from the leftover injera from the night before?
No. We do it in the
special.
Special. We do it in the morning. We do it at night time. And then in the morning we do the injera. So it can rise in meat.
Oh, so it rises overnight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Amazing. I love it. So Fahan, tell me more about what it's been like for your community to go through the pandemic. What are some of the experiences that you guys have been through?
Yeah, I think the mainly is when you have one lift and everyone is coming that lift, and you don't know which one have corona or not. It's really hard, especially when you live in the high rises. It's really very hard. And as our community, we live together. We don't separate. We live together. We knock the other door without saying I'm coming. You go everywhere. So it's like a village there. We go together. So it's when the pandemic, and I say don't go to the houses or don't do this, was really hard. It's like rules, you have to pay, but it was really hard.
It must be really, just make life completely different. And did people that you know have coronavirus?
Yeah, and people I know even dead from the coronavirus.
Oh, no. Yeah. Wow. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
So people from the towers?
Yeah.
Wow.
But not Flemington, in North Melbourne.
Yeah, right.
Some people I know, yeah.
It's so sad. I think, a lot of us feel like we've been insulated from the worst impacts of coronavirus because it hasn't been as bad in Australia as in so many countries around the world. But of course, we have had it here, and it has been, it has gone through some communities, and we really need to remember that. Yeah. So was the tower that you live in part of the hard lockdown that happened before we went into our long Melbourne-wide lockdown?
Yeah, I was living that before, and I know all of the community there, and it was really hard, especially when the lockdown. Nobody knows when if you have a notice, you can grab what you want or you can do. It was really hard, and it looked like harsh for the community because they didn't have a time, they didn't have a notice, they didn't have nothing. They just see the police coming. And it was really very hard. We're talking about a lot. Now it's getting over, but it was really hard for the community, that one.
It was really hard. I mean, did you feel like it was a discrimination?
Yeah. Part of us, we feel it was discrimination because everyone else, they have a notice. Why this community didn't have the notice? This question were always there. because I'm talking about not myself, but I'm talking about what other people thinking too. They thought that that's what is happening because they didn't have the notes, they didn't have nobody asked it, nobody tell them, this is going to happen. Even 3-4 hours will make a difference, but it didn't happen, and I don't think so. It was really when people are they were doing the concern. We understand concern, but the other way was real something like unexpected.
Yeah, it just seemed really chaotic and just really, really harsh. And I mean, I know that, that's what the health advice said, but I just think it felt like, looking at it from my perspective, that it built on a whole lot of disadvantage that was already entrenched, like that there wasn't, firstly, I suppose that people are living in big towers anyway, when there are lots of other ways that people can be housed. And I know that, there's been some big announcements subsequent to that about building more community housing that perhaps, is where you're not, having to use one lift, where things are really well maintained. And, I guess we also heard that, there wasn't information in every language that was necessary about, protecting your community from coronavirus. Just feels like there are so many things that we could do better as a community to keep everybody safe and to have everybody housed really, in a way that feels good to them. Do you feel like that it's possible that this was a turning point and things can be better, or do you feel like, things are just going to continue the same?
No, I think this we can learn from it. What happened? There's going to be learning point. What's going to come next time. We hope it don't come again. But if it come, even for us, for the community, they are ready now. They're more ready than before. And there's more understanding about it than before. If we have on the walls in the downstairs of if there's every language, how to protect yourself, everything will be better. The people, they know what's coming. But this, as you say, we're going to learn from it. And I think it's going to be better if it come again.
Because I can see, you talk about this, you sort of paint this picture of almost like a vertical village where people are in and out of each other's homes and everybody knows each other. And there must be, so many positive things about living so closely with people and people that or you get to know. But do you feel like do you feel like people would like to live in a different way, or that people are happy to live in the towers?
Most of people, I think they like to stay together. But I think if they have some of the families, if they have the option of getting the house in other houses, like normal house, I think they're doing right now. I think they will be happy. They will happy to go. But some people, especially the old people, they like to stay with in the community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really, I love working in food and writing about food and talking about food and thinking about food, because I feel like it's a really great way to connect with people. And when I think about your program, like you're cooking food that, from your culture, and you're distributing it to people in your community. And I know there's this ambition to go wider with it. But how do you think we could do better in Australia in using the opportunity of connecting through food and really creating connections with different parts of the community, so that it's not just, it's not just that you're cooking for people who already know that they want your food, but that this food can be introduced to people who don't know about it yet?
Yeah, I think because this program, extending this program is one of the keys, or giving the other people, like the other Australian people, the opportunity to test our food. To be the other people can integrate together, because when you have the other people's food, these people how they feel or from the food. So I think something like this program to be extended to be well known. We are hoping that, the Mama Kitchen to be well known in everywhere in Australia, and also give other people the opportunity, not only for Team Women's. There's 100 women to give other women's opportunity to have like jobs like this, or when they finish here, like when we finish this, we can look other jobs. We have this background. We can do this, so we can have other jobs. We can look other jobs, and we give other women like this opportunity. Not only African women, but the other women and other cultures, and we wanted like this to be grow and grow.
I love it. I love the vision, and I really hope it happens. Because do you feel like people can get to know you through your food and the way that you cook?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Yeah, because when you like the food, you like the people. When you like the food, you like the people. You can see, you can tell these people, when you're eating the food and you like it, and you can integrate together. You can ask questions. You can go where they live and eat their food if you already tasted it. So I think through the food, the people will know each other more.
Yeah, I think that's really true. And I feel like in Melbourne, we do that to some degree. And, in Australia is a very multicultural country. And I think there is a lot of learning and sharing and understanding that grows through food. But I also think we could do it a lot better in a really deep way, and, really engage with one another, and just promote that community feeling and deeper understanding. I don't want to generalize, but, do you find that the men in your community are overall supportive of the women finding these employment opportunities?
Yeah, they are, because even for them, it's really hard some of them had a job. But for our men, if you're working, they're okay. But the problem is when you have smaller kids and 5-6 kids, it's hard for the women to work. It's not about the men; it's about the women to work. Because when the man go work and you want to work and you have the kids, and for us as a moms, we love to stay with our kids. So when the kids grow, it's easy for us to look for a job. When the kids young, the moms, they love to stay with the kids. So this is only the problem, but I think our men will support us if we have a job.
Great. And I suppose, with all women and, with families in general, it's so important to have kid-friendly hours and to have really good, affordable, accessible childcare. So I guess these pictures are quite complex, and there's so many different parts of our society that need to intersect properly to, create the opportunities for everybody. It's been so fantastic to talk to you, Fahan. Can you just tell me if, or I shouldn't say if, but when we meet for a meal, what will we eat?
We're going together sukar. We'll together African food, East African food, mainly East African food. You can eat anjera with anjera. You can eat also basmati rice, which we make it very nice. You can eat fried foods together.
Good. I look forward to it. I can't wait. Thank you so much, Fahan, for sharing your story, your wisdom and your ambitions with us today. I really wish you all the best, and all the women at Mama's Kitchen, I wish you all success.
Thank you so much.
And chili sauce for everybody around the world.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
This is Dirty Linen, and I'm Dani Valent. We air the issues that the hospitality industry finds hard to talk about. We spend a week thrashing around each issue, hearing from different people with unique perspectives. We want to hear from you as well. If you have something that needs to be said about a topic, get in touch so we can include your perspective. Contact us at dirtylinen@deepintheweeds.com.au or hit us up on Insta at Dirty Linen Podcast. We can't wait to hear from you.
This